Hey, this is Jason Moti Roth. Here's my first go at a handstand vlog. I started going upside down in 2020. What a topsy-turvy year, right? I was in Chicago at the time, so I had the privilege of training with Norbel Mirmanov. Norbel is a coach in the Russian tradition of handstand. So very straight lines, very tall, huge shoulder stretches. Norbel would say to me, "Go see your friend," by which he meant go spend a while stretching on the rack. And here is a video of my last handstand with Norbel.
One. Dive. Hold dive. Calm down.
Nice. Nice.
You did it, Norbel!
You did it.
Очень хорошо, no? Super wildly open shoulders. That is not my handstand on my own. When I took that video, I was so lost about what was going on in my body. I was just doing so many passive stretches, had no control, and it was Chicago winter too, so it was so cold before my workout, so cold after. That's so bad for your articulate joints and your muscles. That's right. So hard on them. But yeah, don't get me wrong, Norbel is an incredible coach. Ya Lublu, so much love for Norbel. Please go train with him. Norbel knew that I was leaving Chicago. I think that he forced my body into that shape that I was not ready for because he wanted to give me something to chase after, that feeling of a straight line, and I've been chasing after that. I moved to Mexico, much warmer, much better for my joints, and I have a lot more time to train now. And I know that that is not a freedom that many people have. I'm hoping that by documenting my journey, by letting you in on what I'm doing, maybe somebody out there who does handstands, who wants to feel really healthy and good in their body at the same time, will have an easier time of it. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to have a really fun time upside down, right? Right. So, Javier and Makoki are my new coaches, my maestros here in Mexico. They have a circus called Zilcolite, a very beautiful place. Just like Norbel, they're just telling me to stretch my shoulders more. It turns out I've been stretching my shoulders wrong for the last 2 years, so they're helping me be more mindful about it. And I hope that you will be very mindful too. If you are following along with what I'm doing, if you're doing all of this with you, with me, if you are doing this with me, that's beautiful. I love that so much. Just be mindful, please. Remember that this is a vlog. This is about my body, what's happening in it, how I'm addressing it. Please serve your own body. When I have wrist pain, I stop going upside down. I just spend the rest of my session strengthening forearms, strengthening fingers, strengthening wrists. Maybe not on a hard wall with that, but that's the moto stretch. Vroom, rolling over my knuckles, flexing my wrists. Mindful shoulder stretching. Hands are about hip height. Feel the weight spread throughout my hand, through the heel, through the palm, the fingers. I'm not dumping all the weight into my wrists, I'm pressing out of them. My elbows are rotating so the elbow bones point down. I am protracting my shoulders, curving them, big curve, so that when I flex my arms overhead, all of that protraction turns into elevation. And I'm gonna relax my neck. I have trouble with that. That is still very hard for me. I have trouble finding a straight spine. There's a lot of awareness. And once I can engage all those things, I can stretch my shoulders. I'm not trying to stretch my thoracic spine. Javier and Makoki, they'll tap my chest and they'll say, meter pecho, tuck your chest in. If I can tuck my chest in, then I can stretch my shoulders. It's a lot like the diving position that Norbal talks about. It's all of that concave action. And it's actually really hard to do. Let me show you why. This is the book that I've been using to learn about my body. I'm not a doctor. I am not an anatomist. I'm just curious. I'm just trying to learn, okay? Here is the chest muscle. Chest muscle attaches the arm bone to the clavicle. Perfect. That'll move my arm right up overhead where I want it. We've got muscle fibers from the pecs also linking the arm bone to the sternum and the ribs. And those are gonna attach to the spine so that when I lift my arm up overhead, those muscle fibers are gonna pull the ribs open, gonna pull the spine out of its nice alignment, a curve that I don't want. Either that or it'll stop me. My ribs and my spine will stop me from lifting my arm all the way up overhead. Same thing on the back. The lats are attaching the spine to the humerus, the arm bone. That's gonna need to stretch a lot to find 180 degrees of flexion of the arm bone. And look at those muscles. Look at how they twist. I don't know what it means. I just know that it's really complicated. And when it feels too complicated for me, I just, I palpate. So I will feel around for my bones, feel all the goo between them. Right now I'll feel for the tip of my scapula, the acromion. And when I flex my arm overhead, I'm feeling for how the acromion gets all flush with my arm bone, the humerus. And then I'll feel for what are my muscles doing to make this really unnatural shape happen. It's all really interesting. It's very theory, but the more I know about my body, the more mindful I can be. The more tough exercises I can give myself. So here is a really tough exercise from Makoki. Makoki's having me put 2 blocks down. That's where my elbows go. It hurts a little bit, but it reminds me to keep my elbows rotated downward and my knees go on another block or whatever. He's down here with me, he's tapping on my chest. Meter pecho. And he says, hold it as long as you can. Do it a few times. So here's a video of Makoki while I do it one more time. Thank you, Makoki. That's also an exercise that you can do on your front. Just finding a little space between the chest and the floor. But I can't just do shoulder stretching on the floor, on the wall, because if I'm not upside down, I won't get the feeling of stretching my shoulders upside down. Very different feeling. So I'll make sure to kick up a bunch of times and not kick up into the handstand that I had for the first 2 years of my practice. I'm gonna really mindfully try to feel for the creation of a line with my shoulders. Sometimes I'll hold it, sometimes not. I'll make sure I kick up in with one leg, with tucks, straddling up, maybe cartwheels, whatever entries I'm working on. Really just feeling for the opening of the shoulders every time. That's how we get there. One more exercise. Here's a video of Javier. When Javier has us go across the floor, like so, he'll also have us go across backwards. And something about having to push backwards just helps me find the 180 degrees of my shoulder. I don't know, very helpful, very interesting. A lot of hand balancers like to end their workouts by holding the tallest, strongest, longest handstand that they can. Here in Mexico, I quite like to end my workouts by eating a mango. So hydrating, delicious, good, sweet burst of energy. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat this gift. I'm gonna rest and stretch, and then I'm going to hold the longest handstand that I can, try to find a little bit of meditation in it, and then see if I can count how many pieces of mango got stuck in between my teeth. I'll see you next time. Provechito.